Essen is right around the corner, and today I'm looking at 5 expansions that I'm excited for that'll be at the show. Hey, it's Jared with Specifically Solo. This is a channel where we focus on solo board gaming and solo modes for games. So all of these expansions you will be able to play solo. 4 of them are releasing in Essen, 1 will be coming out later this year. So let's get to the list. So number 5 on the list is an expansion for a game that I really enjoy already, and that is Roll Camera. And in Roll Camera, you have dice. You're placing these dice out as your workers on your board, and you're trying to make a movie. Hence the name of the game, Roll Camera. But you have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of money to be able to do so. So the expansion for Roll Camera is Roll Camera, the Spy Thriller Story Pack. And so they have a few of these story packs now, and what they do is they just add a little bit of variety to the game. This one is obviously adding a spy theme and a thriller theme into the game. So in this one, you're going to have a conspiracy board to monitor how much information is leaking to your crew, and also some new secret mission cards to give you a hidden objective that you are working on as well. And so in this one, you're making, a spy movie, so you've got those spy themed scene cards, and that just sounds really cool to me. I really enjoy the spy and thriller genre of movies, and I'm excited to add that to Roll Camera, which is a game that you can play with more than one person, obviously, and is a cooperative game, but I think works really well solo because you're able to kind of control all of the actions yourself, and you can come up with your plan of exactly what you want to do to be able to make the movie. It is a hard game. It is not an easy game by any means, but it is a lot of fun, and I'm excited for this expansion at number 5, Roll Camera, the Spy Thriller Story Pack, and Keen Bean Studio is the publisher for that. Number 4 is an expansion for a game I got to play for the first time this year at Gen Con. I played it in the games library, and I just picked it up, sat down, and played it solo and really enjoyed it, and that is Bonsai. Bonsai is a drafting game and a tile laying game where you're trying to build a bonsai tree, and you're trying to make certain patterns to get these goal cards, get certain types of tiles that you're putting into your bonsai tree. Certain things can go next to each other, and that's good. Certain things you don't want to go next to each other. It's a really fun game, and it does really look like a bonsai tree once you're done constructing it at the end of the game. And so this expansion for Bonsai is called Wabi, Sabi. And so what this is adding is different modules that you can add into the game. So this is just like kind of a more stuff expansion for Bonsai. It's adding some new goal tiles, also some new types of Zen cards, and the thing that I was excited about is new solo challenges will be coming for Bonsai as well. So Bonsai is a very, very light game. It does not take very long. It is a great filler game, or a game when you maybe have 30 minutes in an evening and you want to play something quick that has a very easy setup but is also still really fun and enjoyable. I like all of those aspects about Bonsai, and this is just going to add a little bit more. So if you've played it a lot and you want some more solo challenges or you want some more variety, then this is going to be the expansion to look at. Again, that is Bonsai Wabi Sabi from DV Games, coming out at Essen. So number 3 on the list is the one expansion that's not going to be available for purchase at Essen, but it is coming out later this year, and you will be able to demo it, and that is Planet Unknown Supermoon from Adam's Apple. So Planet Unknown is a polyomino tile placement engine building game where you have a planet in front of you, and you're trying to make the best planet possible. And there's a lot of variety in terms of setup and the planets that you're choosing. It's also simultaneous if you're playing with other people, so it goes very fast, and it goes fast solo as well. And this expansion is going to add a couple of different things into Planet Unknown. One is the supermoon, and on BGG they have a description and they say place your tile on your moon or onto your planet. And the moon has a little 3D satellite mini to help clear meteorites in a unique way. And so there's a few things more to consider there with the tile placement and what you're selecting to place out onto your planet and onto your board. Also, it's going to extend the game a little bit. Now, Planet Unknown, again, is not a super long game, especially when you play solo. So this is going to give you about 5 more turns, they say. So it says extending your gameplay from 65 to roughly 80 minutes. When you play solo, it's about 40 minutes, so this might make it 50 to 60 total for the entire game. But this allows new strategies to emerge, and players have to challenge their existing assumptions about the game in order to win. Also, there's new salvage tiles that'll be added, which is a split polyomino, so it'll have 2 different types of things on it. There's new planets and new corporations as well that will be available in this expansion. So it's adding, a new mechanism into the game there with the supermoon, but it's also adding just some more variety of stuff. And this is a really fun one. If you like polyomino games, this is a great one, again, to play solo. I've played it a couple times solo. It's also on BGA, Board Game Arena, and it's really fun to play there as well, even if you want to play that solo. So number 3, Planet Unknown Supermoon. There's not a ton of information about this yet in terms of pictures. I would like to see more about the components and what's actually coming with the expansion, but we've got a good description of it, and it's from Adam's Apple, coming in at number 3 on my list. Number 2 is another expansion for a tile placement game. There's a lot of those types of expansions coming out this year at Essen, and this is for a game called Akropolis. Akropolis is another light game, and it is a tile placement game, pattern building, and you are drafting. But the other really cool thing in Akropolis that you are doing is you are layering your tiles. So you're going to be building on top of your, things that you've already built on throughout the course of the game. So there's lots of strategy involved, because obviously once you cover something up, you can't use that again to score points or get resources or whatever the case may be, what you're doing in the game. So this expansion for Akropolis is called Athena. And in this expansion, you are basically trying to complete construction cards. So it's a very small expansion. It's not adding much to Akropolis, which Akropolis is not a big game anyway. So I don't think it needs a super huge expansion to add a ton more complexity. But this is going to add construction cards. So you can complete each construction card once, and you must manage your resources to carefully maximize your points. So when there's only one tile left at the construction site and all the stacks have been used, the game is over. But players who have completed the statue of Athena gain extra points for their stone, adding a layer of strategic depth to the gameplay, and you're trying to have the most points at the end of the game. So if you like Akropolis and you like the base game, this is just giving you another thing to think about. And you can see there on the picture of the construction cards and the components, you're just trying to do different things in terms of different patterns you might be trying to create or different goals you're trying to accomplish throughout the course of the game. So it's just something else that you have to keep in mind while you are constructing your city, if you will, and placing things out and layering things. I really like Akropolis. It's a really fun game to play solo. I'm not sure if the solo rules come in the box at this point. They might with the new, printings of this that have come out. They didn't originally, but there's a really simple document on BGG that's 2 pages that tells you how to play solo. And so if your game doesn't come with the solo, rules, you can just print that out really quick. And the expansion also supports solo play too. So number 2 on the list, Akropolis Athena. This is usually published by Hachette or Scorpion Masqué here in the United States. I'm not sure about other countries, but that would be the best place to look to get this one in the US, and that's number 2. Number 1 is for a game which I have a review of on my channel that came out late last year from Stonemaier Games, and that is Apiary. So in Apiary, you are bees, basically, and you have a faction, and you've got a couple of resources at the beginning of the game and these worker bees. And this is a worker placement game. You're placing your bees out to various spots on the board to explore, to gather resources, to develop technologies, to build up your own faction board as well. And it's got a little bit of tile placement in there as well, again, like a lot of the games on this list do. And this expansion for Apiary is called Expanding the Hive. So this is just a more stuff expansion for Apiary. Apiary has so much variety already going for it, and this is just going to add even more. And it is a really easy solo game as well. The Automa Factory that creates all the solo modes for Stonemaier, they do a great job of making the game really feel like you're playing against another player without having it be super complex. So I'm excited to check this one out for Apiary. And so what this is going to add is it's going to add new Hive mats and also new frames and new seed cards. So that's going to give you some variety during setup and also throughout the course of gameplay. And then it's also adding some new tiles and tokens as well. And it's going to have a comprehensive appendix that covers the game and the expansion. So one thing that happens a lot in Apiary, just because there's so much variety with the factions and the tiles and things, is you are looking in the rule book to see exactly what that faction does or what that tile might do. So it seems like they're just going to combine all of that into one big book, and that way that'll be kind of the one main thing you're looking at throughout the course of the game if you need to reference something, which is really nice. Also, this says this is all going to fit inside the original box. Love it. That's an awesome design goal there, and I love that more companies are starting to do this, where you don't have to keep the whole separate box for the expansion. There's room in the base game to fit that. We've seen some companies too move away from even boxes for expansion. Like the new expansion for Sky Team that's coming out, I'm pretty sure it's just in like a plastic wrapper type thing that you will just throw the components in to, the base game. So I really like that. It lets you cut down on the number of boxes that you have to store and things you have to keep on your shelves. So that's not why it's at number one. It's at number one because I really love Apiary, and I think this is going to be a great addition to an already great game. But it's always nice when the stuff just fits in the base box anyway. So there you go. The top 5 expansions that I'm looking forward to that will be either releasing or available for demo at Essen. Just to run them down one more time, we had number 5 on the list, the Roll Camera Spy Thrower Story Pack, which again, it's a very small expansion for Roll Camera. Number 4, Bonsai Wabi Sabi from DV Games. This is again not a huge expansion either. There's a lot of smaller expansions coming out this year at Essen. Nothing that's going to add like a ton of stuff to a game, and a lot of expansions for games that are not that big to begin with. Number 3 on the list, Planet Unknown Supermoon. Again, that one you won't be able to buy, but you will be able to demo, and is coming out later this year. And then number 2 on the list was Akropolis, Athena, and then number 1, Apiary, expanding the Hive. So thanks so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, be sure to like and subscribe. That really helps out the channel. I did do a video of my top 10 games that are coming out at Essen, and I'll link to that over here. Also, you can check it out in the description below. Until next time, I'm Jared. You've been checking out Specifically Solo.